What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about 5 ways you keep dishonoring yourself. Okay. What do I mean by dishonoring yourself? I mean, when you step out of integrity. Okay. I mean, when somebody says something to you, you might lose your shit. You might overreact in a way. You have no follow through game. You just don't really put yourself first. Okay. That's what I mean by dishonoring yourself, man. You keep doing things that are holding you back, that are not uh, helping you get to the person that you want to be, if that makes sense, okay? And I got 5 things that you keep doing that you want to highlight and that you want to start changing today. All right, let's go and jump right into it. The first way that you keep dishonoring yourself is you say you're going to do something and you don't do it. Okay, that's like the worst thing you can do, man. For example, I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm gonna start going to the gym tomorrow. I'm gonna start and you never do it, bro. It's just lip service. You might tell somebody at your job, yeah, I really plan on starting to work out. 2 weeks have gone by, you ain't done anything. That person doesn't believe you. That person doesn't think you're a person of action. And what's even worse than that is you don't believe it. You're not putting in the work. You just keep talking about it. You got to get to a point where you can put one foot in front of the other, man, and take action. You can watch all the content you want. You can consume all the information you want. I'm gonna do this. I need to do this. You got it all stored up in here, but you ain't done nothing out here in the world yet. Oh, I need to stop overreacting. I need to stop, losing my shit, when I get in arguments. You got to take the steps to do it. You keep saying you're gonna start changing that, but you keep doing it. All right. So that's the first way that you keep dishonoring yourself, man. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. And it could be the smallest of things. The second way you keep dishonoring yourself is you neglect your self-improvement. Okay. So you're not taking care of yourself, man. You're not taking care of your physical, you're not taking your mental, your emotional, your spiritual. You're overlooking it and just on the hamster wheel of life. Okay. I think a lot of us struggle with this. We are just so worried about being able to afford gas, these expensive ass gas prices, being able to afford these expensive ass groceries, just trying to be able to put food on the table for our kids. Hell, maybe even just for yourself. Things are so expensive nowadays, right? So it's really important. I always talk about this in my videos, man. You have to prioritize your mental, your mindset. You have to keep this sharp, man, because life is always going to be evolving. Life is always going to be changing and throwing you curveballs, and gas prices always raising up on you. What you going to do? You going to stop paying for gas? No, you got to pay for it. You got to get to work. You got to get around. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't control that. But what you can control is your mental sharpness for when them gas prices keep changing up on you, how you don't let it get the best of you because you prioritize your mental health, your mental sharpness, your self-improvement, how you're growing and how you're evolving, how you can handle struggles and challenges because they're always going to be there. That's why it's so important to start prioritizing you. When you go to the gym or when you read books that are improving this right here, you are almost like bulletproofing yourself in a way. Okay. The gym is building a foundation for you, not a foundation just to have muscles, but a foundation for discipline, for composure, keeping your composure under pressure, keeping your composure when you're uncomfortable. That's what happens when you're in the gym. You intentionally put yourself under pressure. So when you're out here in the world and you see, damn, the gas prices then went up again. Oh well, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go find the cheapest one out of these 5 and just get some gas. You don't get all overly stressed out, all overly bent out of shape. You're not dealing with the crazy anxiety and stuff. Yeah, we all got anxiety. Yeah, we all have it to differing degrees. But when you start pouring into yourself, you start to counteract. I said counteract. You start to counteract the pressure of the world, the pressure that the world can apply to you. And I'm not just talking about working out, man. You got to work on your self-awareness, your emotional intelligence. I say self-awareness a lot, but I'm talking about emotional intelligence, um, mental awareness. All of these things are under the same umbrella. You got to start strengthening these. You got to strengthen your ability to be more resilient, to be able to bounce back faster and stronger when things get the best of you in life. The third way that you keep dishonoring yourself is that you let anyone and everyone have access to you. And I know you might be like, how is that dishonoring myself? Look, man, when you're letting any type of energy come around you, man, you almost like, you're letting people cross the lines, cross the energetic lines. Some people can, but some people you got to you need to be a little bit mindful. Be mindful of what kind of energy they bring. Be mindful of how you feel after you've hung out with a certain individual. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel drained? Do you feel tired? Do they complain a lot around you? They just talk about stressful shit. Now, look, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you're going to get around like your friends, coworkers, and they might complain about some stuff, some life stuff they got going on. That's going to happen, man. And it's okay to like engage in conversation. Like, damn, that sucks. You going through that? Oh, you going through a breakup? That sucks, man. We all going through life, okay? But what I'm saying is be mindful of those folks that aren't striving to be better. Those folks that are, comfortable just kind of doing the same thing over and over. Hey, more power to you. If that's what you want to do, you want to do the same thing over and over. But I'm talking about those of us who know that we can be better, we can perform better, we can show up stronger in the world, we can show up in integrity. We don't have to let every little thing knock us off our square. Those individuals who are trying to get to that point, you know who I'm talking about. If you're watching this video, it's probably you, right? Us type of individuals, we become very aware of the type of energy we let into our lives, man. Me personally, I'm not really big on the complaining. I don't need no complaining energy around me. Yeah, I get it. We got things that we go through, but you need to be like, come around me with some proactive type of energy. You got some problems, man. You need to be trying to like take some steps to figure out a solution for your problems, or ask for help. That's a big one too, man. Ask for help if you don't know what to do, man. Okay, now I don't want to get too much off of a tangent here. What I'm talking about is being mindful of the people that you let have access to you. As I've gotten older, man, my circle has gotten so much smaller. I don't let everybody have access to me, and I'm perfectly okay with that. A lot of us are like we're like socially addicted. Like you have to be in the group, you have to be included, you have to be a part of every single party. Like, and that can just have you in circles that may have you exposed to things that are really kind of have you dishonoring yourself, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's just people's energy. So it's really important for you to work on that self-awareness. Start pouring into yourself in the gym. This is going to build you up in a way so that you can kind of disconnect from that need to always let people around you. If that makes any sense, okay? Now I don't want to get it twisted, all right? It's okay to have friends. It's okay to be social. Just be mindful of the energy that you let in your life. Before I go any further, if you're getting any value out of this video, please smash the like button. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, if this information, if you're getting anything out of this and you want to dive deeper into understanding yourself, how to stop dishonoring yourself, how to move in integrity and be in authenticity, maybe not all the time, but for the majority of the time. Stop overreacting to things, man. Get off of autopilot. If any of these things are resonating with you that I'm saying, and you want to dive deeper, then book a call with me. I'll leave the link in the description. All right. I help men with self-mastery and emotional mastery. All right. Now, for the fourth way that you keep dishonoring yourself is because you act out too impulsively. Okay. So what I mean is, like, say for example, like somebody says something to you at your job, right? Like says it in a way that hits you in a way that kind of like, like, damn, it feels like disrespect. Or you feel like, man, why you had to say it to me like that? And then you might snap back at them right away and be like, who are you talking to? Are you talking to me? Or you just kind of say something like really impulsively. That's just an example I'm giving of where you lack the ability to slow down and to pause. Okay. When you lack this ability, you get into moments that dishonor yourself because you're not able to like regulate yourself. Because this is where a lot of our issues come from, where we get knocked out of our integrity, man. We start acting in ways that we're not proud of, and you may not realize it in the moment. You don't realize it until the moment is over. Okay. So that's why I'm always talking about meditating. That's why I'm always talking about practicing mindfulness. Learn how to be where your feet are in the present moment. When you're always worried about what's to come, what's happened to you 10 years ago, what you should have said about it, those take you out of the moment. Okay. And the present moment is where the beauty is. Okay. So what this has to do with acting impulsively is that When you're constantly not in the present moment, you're reacting to things that, really you can't control. You can't control the future. You can't control the past. But if you're unaware of this, your mind and the stories that are being conjured up in your mind, they can cause you to move in a way that is not authentic, that might not be how you really want to move. Okay, you're too impulsive. You got to take time. Let the emotions settle. Like I used the example of your coworker saying something to you. You don't have to say something right away. Let the emotions settle. Go about your business. Focus on your breathing. Okay, take a moment to let that emotional charge kind of come and go. That's one thing that I had to really work on. When that emotional charge hits, you don't got to address it right then. Just notice it within you. Okay, just notice it. Oh, damn, that pissed me off. Why you say it like that? You know what I mean? Like, and just notice it, focus on your breathing, and let it kind of wash over you like a shower. It's going to let it just kind of just go down the drain. That's one thing that you need to learn about these emotional states. They will come and go. But if the stories in your mind start to get like all crazy and out of whack and you're overthinking, you can make them worse, which causes you to act impulsively. Okay. Hopefully that made sense, man. Leave me some comments and let me know if that made sense. All right. Maybe I can, clarify or do another video if needed. And for this last way that you keep dishonoring yourself is that you act out of emotion. So I touched on this kind of on this previous one. All right. I used to deal with this too. Used to wear my heart on my sleeve. I still do to a degree, not that I'm an overly emotional guy, but I'm aware of my emotions. I used to be kind of overly sensitive, younger, growing up. And I had a lot of ego problems too. Okay. And when your ego gets in the way, you react out of emotion. All right. You're trying to protect your identity so much. Okay. But that can be one of the biggest problems we deal with. Excuse me, not can be. It is one of the biggest problems that we deal with is that we react out of emotion. And like I was saying, you have to get to a point where you can start to recognize your emotional state. That's why you have to work on your emotional intelligence, man. You have to work on how you're feeling about something at any given moment and how other people are around you too. When you start working on this, what I've noticed is that when I started improving my emotional intelligence, man, I started getting more keen on other people's emotional state. Maybe my coworkers, oh shit, she's in a bad mood right now. Oh, I can tell he in a bad mood. And that can kind of help you in how you interact with people, how you approach people. You could have a bit more of a softness, a bit more of a directness in questions you ask people. How you been? Everything going good with your kids? I heard you had something going on a couple of weeks ago. Everything good? You know what I mean? And I'm trying to tie all this in here, man, that it really boils down to your emotional intelligence and learning how to slow down, learning how to be more mindful, because that will keep you from always, it will keep you from like acting out of emotion. We all have emotions. They're always going to be there. They're always going to come up. Somebody's going to say something to you. You're going to feel a certain way, but you don't always have to react from the emotion. You don't always have to let that feeling like dictate what you say, how you show up. Okay. So you really want to get a hold on that. And how you do that is start meditating, start improving your emotional intelligence, and book a one-on-one call with me too. All right. So again, I hope this video provided you with some value. If it did, make sure you check out this video on the screen right here. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.